All right, hi everybody. It's now May 4th at 10:22. My car is packed to the gills with equipment, and there's just a little bit of room in there. But I believe we should do all right. Now, I've been hearing on Facebook. I've been talking. I'm a big pusher of the MEMS program. And I have my senior MEMS. I'm still trying to figure out how to get my master's. It's a little bit challenging. But tomorrow, well, Sunday for you. Tomorrow, Sunday, I'm very tired. Sunday is a lush environment, in my humble opinion, for someone to get their MEMS. Lush. So I'm looking at my ICS 100 book here. And if you go through each book and then compare the topic with what you can see on Sunday, you'll see a huge relationship, and you can write about that. So one of the first things they talk about in the ICS 100 is that the benefits of ICS, Incident Command System, is safety of responders. So you can talk about that. You can cite in the op order how there's a lot of talk about safety, food, water, bug spray, sunscreen, proper clothes, all the preachings of the sergeant major, and now the CG tonight. You can cite those Facebook passages that they put in there where the general said, don't put yourself in a box, take care of yourself first, and then think, and all the other stuff he said. Okay, safety, safety, safety. Here, I'm going to try to go quickly because so ICS is a standard management tool for meeting the demands of small and large emergency and non-emergency situations. So this is a non-emergency situation. And we're not following ICS exactly, the terms and stuff like that. But the concepts are still there. So you can relate it to what you see and to show an appreciation for the ICS system and basic emergency management principles. So here, all right, so ICS features, common terminology. Now, in one of my warnings I said when we use our radios, we don't use 10-4 codes. That's a big thing. Not everybody understands the 10-4s, and there's different sets of 10-4s. So right there, now we're going to try to talk just common language on the radio. Anybody that use 10-4 stuff is going to get chastised, okay? So common terminology. Establishment and transfer of command. Major Cawthorn has said that I run the show, and of course I report to him, and the CG will be there. But you can pretty much bet Major Cawthorn and the general are not going to be given operational commands out there aside from what I'm doing. Rather, they'll tell me to do something, and then I tell you. Of course, they reserve the authority to intervene in case of something really bad happens. But, they're not going to be, we're not going to have two masters out there running the show. So, unity of command. Organizational, incident action plan. Well, we don't have a specific incident action plan, but we have an operations order. This is our mission. This is a situation. This is basically what we're going to do. We have a concept of operations. We have execution paragraph. Span of control. Okay, what's the optimum span of control? Like 5 to 7 based on the complexity of the environment, or is it 3 to 5? It's somewhere in there based on the situation, right? Well, the overall incident commander is Tuan, And he has several race captains. The swim race captain, the bike race captain, there's different ones. There's a volunteer race captain. So we fall into the volunteer race captain. So again, there's that span of control. So if Tuan has an issue with me, he'll probably go to Hillary. Hillary will come to me. Facilities and resources. Okay. Within the ICS system, you have a command post. Well, we have a command post. You have a staging area. Well, our staging area is going to be basically co-located with the command post. And then you have a base camp. Well, all of us working tomorrow, Saturday, when we're done for the day, we're not going to go to the CP. We're not going to go to the staging area. We're going to go to our cabins that somebody rented for us. A base camp is where you're not even doing anything associated with the event. You are resting and relaxing and recuperating and all that other stuff. Well, so you can say, well, those cabins are our base camp. Again, to show that you understand these different relationships of time and space and function. Communications, integrated communications. You can believe that between maybe the GMRS and surely FRS and surely ham radio and maybe CB and maybe MURS and maybe cell phone, that somehow, some way, we're going to stitch this together into an integrated system. So that if somebody out on the course sees something, that'll get reported to somebody who'll report it to me, and I will report it to Major Cawthorn, who you can say has, in a way, administrative control over me, but to Tuan, the boss of the incidents, who has operational control over me. So we are certainly, our goal is to have integrated communications, and I believe with all the systems we have in our experience that we will have integrated communications. Information and intelligence management. Again, we're going to manage it by making sure the right people are informed. Accountability. We're going to sign in. I have a sign-in roster, and then a sign-out roster, just like at drill. We're going to sign in and sign out, and I'm going to have cell phone numbers how everybody is, because we're going to have non-VRC people mixed in with us. So we're going to have accountability of them. Accountability is a big thing. Again, it goes back to what the CG said. We got to be safe. One of the ways to be safe is know that everybody is and where they're at. Dispatch and deployment. We're going to know where everybody is. We're not just going to say go out on the course. Joe is going to be at this curve. Jane is going to be at this bike turnaround. We're going to know where everybody is. Everybody's going to have their own call sign, where every post will have a call sign, and we'll know who is at that post. Again, accountability, dispatch, deployment. What else here? Spin. Resource tracking. You may have noticed in some of the message traffic yesterday that in addition to bringing your own radios, we're going to have, ideally, people will bring other people's gear, and then we'll use that within ourselves. But that I did not say will be until he who loses somebody else's stuff. So I want to have a logistics person get control of anything that's loaned to us, maintain accountability of it, and then make sure we know where it goes, and make sure that it came back, and then make sure it gets back to the person who brought it. So again, resource tracking. Uh, okay. What else here? Excuse me. So again, there's lots and lots and lots. You just go through the 100 to 200 to 700 and 800. The priorities and objectives. All right, so tomorrow, the race folks, they're gonna. I wanted to tell them early, but they said only tomorrow will they tell me the priority of fill for the different places, because I don't know if 2 people are gonna show up or 20. So they're gonna give me a priority of fill, so that when people actually do show up and they're mission capable, that I can just go down that list. Okay, this is the number 1 priority. Okay, you and you go there. Number 2 priority, you and you go there. Number 3, I don't know if we'll have extra people by the time we go through that priority list, or we'll run out of people before we get to that. But nonetheless, they're going to give me a priority list. So that's a bullet point here. Priorities and objectives. Status of communications. Well, we're going to have communications checked before we go out on our post. We'll have communication checks when we get out there. And we're going to have commo checks in between to make sure everybody's alive, alert, not eaten by bears, not running from snakes or whatever, and that the radio works. And just keep them mentally active. Okay, so again, this is really easy to just write a book, about what you see, and include pictures, include the op order. Okay, what else? Okay, the priority for incident objectives. You'll learn the term LIP, life safety, incident stabilization, and property environmental presentation. So life safety, again, we all stressed, me, Major Cawthorn, the CSM, the General, stress safety. Incident stabilization, for our purposes, it's to make sure it's a nice, smooth event for the people to report incidents, to report obstacles. If a tree falls down in the road and the bikers can't get through, we got to report that to help to get somebody to move the tree. Property environmental preservation, not so much a factor here, but we know that if we see a fire or something that's hurting the root, hurting the woods, we would report that. But we would certainly take care of life safety first. Again, the priority. All right, so the race captains. Some of the race captains are functionally aligned, like Hillary has the function of volunteers. The volunteers will be anywhere and everywhere. But at least one of the race captains is an area. That person has the swim area. Another person has the bike. Well, the bike and the run functions kind of overlap. So I don't know if you would call that a division structure or a function structure, but you can say there's some of the race captains have functions and other ones have geographic areas. Again, that's a different type of concept within emergency management. So here, back to the incident action plan, to compare it with our op order, it says every IAP incident action plan must have 4 elements. What do we want to do? Well, that's our mission. Who is responsible for it? Well, within the mission is the VA regiment of the VRC. How do we communicate with each other? Well, We have everybody's going to be radios. We have the designated channels for the FRS, for the CBs. We're going to have a designated 2-meter frequency. It's 146.49, I think it is. But we'll verify that tomorrow. So how do we communicate with each other? And what is the procedure if someone is injured? We will cover that at the safety briefing. That needs to be fresh in everybody's mind. And yes, there will be a separate safety briefing, okay? Again, that's one of the #1 priority is life safety. All right, so so within the 4 standard areas of the ICS system, you know, you have the incident commander, and you have, well, there's the specialty persons. There's the liaison officer. I guess for our purposes, Major Cawthorn and the general are the liaison officers in a way, because they're going to be basically going between me and the race people and then smoothing out any issues. We don't have a PIO, you know, because of some concern over what we were doing and concern of the number of people. I would have liked to have a PIO, and I wanted to have a video crew giving mock interviews so that we could exercise that part of ourselves, but we couldn't get there. And then safety. We're all safety officers based on the number of people out there, and I don't know how we can officially say the safety, but there has been so much stressing on safety. We're all the safety officers. But then there's the operations person, the planning person, the communications and logistics, and then the admin person. Well, I'm the operations person. In terms of the planning, well, planning is the future. So basically, I've done the planning for the current operation. There is no future part of it other than to get home, and that's on the individual. But we have the commo and logistics. We certainly, for logistics, we're told we have to bring our own food and water and all that other stuff. It's just a short mission, so there's not going to be any resupply. And then for admin, we're going to check in and check out. If anybody gets injured, well, we'll make statements, and then we have the liability. The VRC chain of command made darn sure that there's liability insurance for us. So that all falls within that admin function. Well, it's a leader function to make sure it's there, but if we do get hurt and we make statements, then that admin function will kick in to take care of the issue. All right, so I'm going to stop. All right, but you can see there's tons and tons of stuff you're going to see on Sunday that is directly applicable and parallel to the ICS and MEMS stuff. So if you need your MEMS, take notes, take pictures, save the op order, print that stuff out of the Facebook and all of the other things, and then you can just write something. And I won't write one word for anybody, but I will ask the questions that will get you to say the answer, and you write that down, and I can pretty much guarantee you're going to have your MEMS. All right, but I'm not the only one that can do that. I'm just saying that I can and I will. All right, thank you. Bring radios, bring people. All right, good night. Bye.